Okay, Coach, can you hear me?
Yep.
Perfect. Congratulations on the Big Ten playoff title. If you wouldn't mind, let's have an opening statement before questions.
Couldn't be more proud of our guys. I mean, I'm telling you, 3 games in 3 nights. They don't do that in the National Hockey League. You rarely do it in college hockey. And when you do, it's usually 2 out of 3, and you're playing the same opponent. And we caught a team that only played 1. You saw we couldn't have played any better the entire weekend. We ran out a little gas in the third, but it was more a couple of mental mistakes. But overall, I think we came in here and earned that championship, and I couldn't be more proud of our guys.
We'll now take questions.
Bob, the book on Brock Faber before he came here he was one of the better shutdown defensemen in the national team program. It looked like he was maybe in a shutdown role on Cole Caulfield tonight. Was that what you had him do?
Yeah, whoever. We really feel pretty strong with our whole decor. Whoever got mad, they were putting them all over. But early in the game, Brock had him quite often, and I know there was frustration. You could see it across, and that's what Brock does. I mean, he's a world-class defender, and he was on full display this weekend, even battling through, what he went through.
Bob, it looked like Blake McLaughlin was just on his game more than anyone this year so far. That's how you saw?
Yep. I mean, it's always fun in big time games. You're like, who rises? And we had a whole bunch that rose to the occasion, but Blake took it to another level tonight, and it was pretty special to watch. And even right at the end, that he had been out there for almost 45 seconds on the pull goalie, and he just looked at me and said, "I'm staying out here," and he was going to get it done, and then he scores. That was a terrific effort by him, how he rose up to that occasion.
Obviously, if you're going to play 3 games in 3 days and win, you have to have extremely good conditioning. How important or how critical was it, do you think, for you guys to not have those sort of lulls that other teams had, whether because of COVID or something, and you didn't really miss that giant chunk of games?
Well, we did miss the 1 week where we couldn't play Penn State, and it was right before our last series of the year, and we probably worked this team harder than I've ever worked a team late in the season. We just got a feel about them that they like it. They want to compete. They want to get after it, and it paid off because we conditioned the last month, like I said, more than I've ever conditioned a team, and we even got a few cross eyes from the guys, but I think they understand why now. We kind of had our eyes set getting in this tournament, and if we didn't win the league, it's still a little, we 2/100ths of the point or whatever it was, we don't win the league title, but we knew if we're going to win this thing, we had to play 3 games in 3 nights, and we get a nice break now before the NCAA tournament.
Hey, Bob.
Go ahead.
My question about Cole Caulfield would be twofold. You've been facing him for 2 years. Could you talk to me about the growth you saw in his game today compared to his freshman year?
Oh,
and
yeah.
Second, how much is he part of your preparation as a team during your pre-scouting process? And what's the blueprint for a shutdown, Cole?
Well, we shut him down for about 50 minutes, and that was, and then he's going to find his way. And he is one of the more phenomenal shooters that I've seen in a long time. He has 28 goals now, and not only is it 28 goals, but I'll bet he has 50 pipes. So if it's not in, it is banging off the bar. I mean, his ability to put the puck where he wants to is just uncanny. And to really watch how he's developed over the last 2 years. He was a threat last year. This year, it's more like he's just dangerous. And, you got to keep an eye on him at all times. And you try to slow him down as best you can. And the best thing is to play with the lead. So the 2 times we beat Wisconsin, we had leads and we fell behind in the other games and try to frustrate him. And we did for part of the night tonight.
And just the last one, did you see a big improvement in his 2-wing game and his game without the puck this year?
Yes, absolutely. The big thing with a guy like that, though, is he has the puck most of the time. You know, I mean, I know that's going to be questioned, but those are elite players that you know, his play without the puck, most shifts he finds a way to get it. That's what's just crazy. And they find ways to get him the puck. And that's when he's most dangerous.
Thank you, Bob.
Bob, you know, you had the one penalty tonight, and I won't ask you to comment on that call, but staying out of the box and just not giving Wisconsin's power play a chance, how important was that? That was the critical part of the whole game. And we knew we would take, you know, one might come our way, and it came in the first period. That penalty kill might have been one of the key reasons for us winning tonight, because they're, you know, they got 30% power play. It's deadly. They got good looks, but we did a great job killing it off. Where the last couple of games and recently we've given one up in the first period. We did not want to chase that team.
Bob, Jack got the most outstanding player award for the tournament. What did you think of his performance tonight?
You know, it's just too bad the third period, because he was rock solid all 3 games, and we left him out to dry there in the third period. And we were out of gas, and 2, we were nervous, and he did a couple uncharacteristic things, and you know, he was the MVP of our team, and no question MVP this weekend.
Bob, the opening 20 minutes were pretty tightly played. Were you happy with the demeanor on the bench and everything going into that first intermission? What was the key to sticking with it tonight? The fact that we got, you know, we killed that penalty off and got a lead, you know, Blake scores and right at the end of a power play. We get real comfortable when we're that way. And now I'm going to tell you we're comfortable the other way too. When we do fall behind after what we went through, but that we went toe to toe up and down the rink, and we turned the puck over about 4 times, and that's what we talked about between periods. We had to do a better job managing the puck. In the second period, we did that, and it was a dominant second period on our side. Was there something that flipped with your team during that second period? It seemed like there's a stretch where you guys were winning every puck race.
Yeah, and well, we've done that quite a bit this year in stretches, and sometimes you don't get rewarded for it. Tonight we got rewarded for it, and that was big.
Hey, Bob, what was going through your head in that third period?
Can you tell by my reaction? We were just, I mean, I've lived in those games before when you have big leads and the other team starts their way back. You know, you keep looking at the clock and it doesn't move very fast. We just kept saying, play our game and play our game. And they changed all their lines around. They were totally mismatching what we had been doing the first 2 periods. And we had to just let our guys play. And we settled in after, you know, after the timeout, we settled down pretty decent. We had a couple of key chances to score, and we could have put the game, you know, away again. And the goalie they put in there did a real good job.
We'll take last call.
We've heard a lot of coaches pleading their case to get into the NCAA tournament with what they did in these this weekend. Is this your final case for a number 1 seed? What you did here?
Yeah, whatever. Like, I learned a long time ago. I don't care where we go. I don't care what seed we are. And it's the truth, you know. Last year I thought we were one of the top 16 teams in the country at the end of the year, but we weren't going to be in. I mean, our body of work just was a little short. You know, this year our body of work's pretty good. So send us where we need to go and we'll get ready to go.
Bob, just lastly, a few weeks ago, I asked you about, you know, the senior class having such a irregular final season and now being on the other side of this tournament, where you had said that they would play a big role. Just how do you feel just seeing them achieve this in their final season? You could see it on the ice at the end of the game. And then when we greeted the team in the locker room at the end of the game, those seniors, it was a really neat look on their face. That there's a whole lot of banners in Mariucci Arena that were put up long before we were there. And those seniors now get to join.
they get to join the banners knowing that they've done something. And we said, we're not done. And they know that. I'm real proud of that group. You know, I didn't recruit them. I inherited them, told them from day one, you give me your heart, I'll give you my heart. And those kids have battled with us. So I couldn't be more happy and proud of that group.
With that, we're going to say thank you to Coach Motzko and move on to players.
Yeah.
Geez, Jess, a big whatever for you. Yikes.
That was one of the most Bob Motzko interviews of all Bob Motzko times.
And we're now joined by most outstanding player of the tournament and Big Ten goaltender of the year, Jack LaFontaine. We will now take questions for Jack.
Jack, what did you think after 40 minutes? Could you feel a storm coming even with the lead?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, their offense is very volatile, very explosive. So I knew what we were getting into, and you know, obviously they had a great push, and hats off to them. But I think we did a great job in responding to those two quick goals before the 10-minute mark.
Jack,
Any other question?
Yeah,
Jack, was there in the locker room between the second and the third? Obviously, you guys had a big lead. What was the message from the coaching staff as far as sort of keeping your head in the game, especially given you played 3 games in 3 nights? What was the feel there, and what was the message from the coaches?
Yeah, I mean, it was Coach Motzko obviously reiterated what he's been reiterating all tournament long, and that's just the fact that we got to, you know, be smart with, you know, our on-ice management with our shifts, you know, being really smart and executing our dump-ins and so forth. But, you know, he was very, you know, he was very adamant on making sure that we weren't going to change nothing. Obviously, we wanted to, you know, play with the lead and, you know, play a little bit more conservative on the defensive side of the puck. But nonetheless, I think, you know, Coach Motzko did a phenomenal job through these 3 games and just preparing us mentally and physically to, you know, play 3-3 and then, you know, 2 extra periods of overtime hockey.
Jack, how does this one feel for you seniors to hoist that trophy?
I'll tell you in 2 days. You know, I really don't know right now. You know, this is my first time truly winning anything. Yeah, I mean, I know, you know, for the Minnesota guys that have been here for 4 years, it's definitely some highs and lows. You know, we take a lot of pride in the fact that this program belongs back at the top. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we're trying to set a culture for years to come. And I think this accomplishment does that. And, you know, I know we have a lot more to give, and, you know, we're coming up on a great time for any college hockey player. And, you know, the tournament is such a cool opportunity, obviously being there my sophomore year. So it's such a great opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm excited to share it with, you know, all my brothers.
How important were these 3 games to get you ready for that, you know, first overtime games of the year, you know, a game like tonight where you hold on to win?
Yeah, it was a little bit different of a game because, you know, we were playing with a lead. These past 2 games, we were obviously down, but I mean, those 2 games were huge for us because I don't think we've really been in a situation where our backs were against the wall and we had to respond like that. So I think those 2 games are going to go a long way. And, Tonight, I think you saw a little bit more of what we were used to, and that's playing with a lead. We just kept on responding. It seemed like we didn't really get phased by anything, and we just kept our heads down and got the result that we wanted.
Jack, just over the course of the past 3 games, dealing with the back-to-back overtime and then Wisconsin's comeback tonight, what has been most important for you mentally, just to sort of stay calm and sort of within your focus in net?
I mean, obviously it's very mentally tiring. I think today was a little bit more of a physical grind, but for me, I feel like I've been on both sides of the coin, the losing and the winning side, playing and not playing. And, for me, every opportunity I got to play in these situations, it's a privilege. And, it sounds so cliche, but, I'm extremely grateful for the individual opportunities that Coach Motzko has given me. And for me, I kind of just remind myself of that, you may be tired, you may be a little bit worn down, but if you were to ask that same kid 2 years ago at Michigan, would it have mattered? He would have said no. He would have died to, get in a game like this. So, I've been dreaming about this since the day I wanted to go to college. For me, it's, holding on to that, childhood innocence and, that admiration for these opportunities and moments.
And in getting past Michigan, to get here tonight to win the championship, was that a big moment for you personally?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was never, a me versus Michigan thing. It was a Gophers versus Wolverines. We had a job to do and we did just that. And, I'm so proud of the way we came back from a 2-goal deficit. And, I feel like when we get to overtime, there's just this calm confidence that we possess that, we feel like we have more in the tank. And, playing on Olympic size ice, we're just very well conditioned. And, again, I'm just super proud of the boys.
With that, we're going to have to say thank you to Jack LaFontaine and move on. So thank you, Jack.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, we're now joined by Blake McLaughlin. We only have a couple of minutes for questions for Blake, so let's have at it.
So
Blake,
Coach
did you know you're going to have that good of a game tonight? What was your key?
You know, I don't think you ever expect out of a game like that. I think the puck kind of found me. My whole line was just going. Walks and Rady had a heck of a game. So, I mean, you got two guys like that that can move the puck, play with a fast-paced game. It makes your life a lot easier. So.
Coach Motzko was talking about how much you guys were conditioned at the last month or so. So what was that like for you guys then, and how much do you appreciate it now?
You know, I think getting a bag skate here and there, it's never fun, but it was definitely needed. And I think it kind of showed throughout playing 3 games in 3 days. I thought we had a really good jump after the first period, and I think it kind of showed our conditioning. So.
Blake, before the game, I noticed after warmups, you and Caulfield kind of did a fist bump there before you went into the locker rooms before the game. Did you say, we're going to make your life living hell tonight?
No, it was a pretty friendly conversation. He's a really good guy, talented player, obviously, but I just kind of know him throughout playing hockey over the years at that World Junior Showcase. I got to know him pretty well, and he's a superb guy. He's actually really down to earth, and it's pretty awesome to see a guy that's highly touted, that's that humble. So I think, we kind of just gave each other, good luck, have fun, let's play hard. And then, he'll probably text me in about a couple hours just saying congrats once.
Take 2 more for Blake.
Blake, you guys really tilted the ice down towards the Wisconsin goalie in the second. What were some of the keys for your line and for your team to sort of dominate the possession like you did?
I think we talk about it all the time. The golden line is the goal line. That's when we're at our best. Our forecheck's the motor of this team right now. Once we have our forecheck and our ground game going, that's when we really kind of get the pace moving. And so once we get it to the golden line, I think that really helps us. So just keep getting pucks down, winning those one-on-one battles and moving it back to our points. We got really skilled defensemen. So just getting it back to them and let them do their kind of little shimmy shake and put it back down to us, and let us just kind of keep working and hounding on these guys, and maybe get a couple of line changes in and just kind of hound them and get them while they're tired. So.
Blake, what was the message in the last time out there in the third period to close out the game?
5-minute increments, never too high, never too low. They came out, they got a good jump on us. We were kind of scrambling for a bit, and Motz did a really good job of just kind of settling us down. And he just gave us the key words, just go play hockey. Everyone's been in this situation. We've all had these situations in big time games, and just settle down and play hockey. So.
Okay, with that, we're going to say thank you to Blake McLaughlin, and we will see media later. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Okay.